Okay guys, I've got a little quick flick for you. As part of my upgrades or my attempt to improve the crankcase ventilation, I did a little research and was trying to find filtered fresh air source to be able to pull in through the crankcase to evacuate crankcase gases, pressures, moisture, whatever, through your PCV valve to make it work more efficiently. LS engines have two vacuum sources to reduce crankcase pressures or to evacuate the crankcase. One being the PCV run to the top of the intake, and the second point vacuum source right at your throttle body to your passenger side valve cover. Well, something that was pointed out was there's two vacuum sources to the crankcase, but there's no fresh air source. So I started looking for just different options, even down to just putting a little bitty small tiny filter right on the front of that passenger side valve cover tube, which I have seen people do. And I was like, well, yeah, that would work, but I'd really kind of like to find something a little bigger, like a full-size push-in breather of some kind. Well, then I was digging through my stuff, and I was like, wait a minute, I've got one of these original push-in breather element. I started thinking, well, how hard would it be to make one? Well, then I thought, well, let me see how much they cost online first. Jumped on eBay and Amazon, did general searches on Google. Screw-on LS, what they call oil cap breathers, are generally pretty expensive. The ones I was finding were $40 to $70 because most, if not all of them, were made like out of billet aluminum. How hard is it going to be to try to make one? So the other night I came out here. I said, well, I got this, more than one of these little oil caps for these LS engines. Let's just see how hard it would be to try to fit this stupid breather in there. The first thing you'll notice when you look at a grommet kit, okay, I want to point this out. I just happen to have this in the top of my toolbox. When you read the package on the back of these, it says fits 1 1/4 inside diameter holes. If you drill 1 1/4 hole, that little grommet just flops around in it. So I literally went to, I think it was Home Depot, and purchased 1 1/8. Okay, I kind of my sealing surface of those little rubber valve cover grommets, and I noticed that 1 1/8 was going to give me a nice tight seal. So I just went to Home Depot, picked up one of those 1 1/8 hole saws, and chucked it up in my drill press, and then attempted, I'm going to throw that out there, attempted to drill through that oil cap, but let me give you a bit of information on what I found out. These LS oil caps are hollow. Okay, so when I first started this idea, I thought I was going to need to drill all the way from this inside diameter all the way through to the top of this cap, which does not turn out to be the case. Basically, all you're going to have to do is use the 1 1/8 hole saw to remove the top cap, because once you go through the part with the lettering at the top, you'll see that it's hollow inside of there. So then you just drill a pilot hole, and what I used was a Harbor Freight Unibit. I just went straight down through the center of that inner structure. I wish this thing had more light, because this is literally a straight hole all the way down through to the filter now. I would pull it apart. I do apologize, because I wanted to be able to show you all the components that I used to create this. This thing, I had to push it together with my vise, because I wasn't quite, I felt uncomfortable trying to push on it on my workbench, but I got it to, go together using my bench vise, and I was going to pry it apart a while ago with a big screwdriver so I could show you guys the components. I wasn't real happy with the amount of pressure that I was putting on it to try to get the filter out of the cap, and it has such a good, strong, sealed surface that I decided I would just kind of let you guys in on this little project without destroying the first one I built. So I used the FB101 AC Delco or what I used to call them valve cover breathers. I don't know what these things, breather element. I used the grommet out of one of these kits, an 1 1/8" hole saw to make the hole in the top for the grommet to seal to, then just opened up the cavity between this, neck or bottom portion of the cap to where there's an open path all the way up into there. I have vacuum tested this. It's absolutely airtight. Proof of concept will be that I can screw this into that oil fill on that valve cover. This upper portion still rotates, so nobody panic about having that outlet pointed in the wrong direction or anything. Because once I snug the oil cap, I can position the actual filter in any direction I need to. So, cost output to me was under $15, and that includes a $12 stupid hole saw bit. And that's affordable, you know what I mean? Not everyone's going to be able to pick up a push-in, valve cover breather for 99 cents. I think at one time I had bought like a whole case of those stupid push-in breathers. I just want to kind of let you guys in on this little project I did the other night to create an open air, what's going to be called a filtered fresh air source to my crankcase ventilation system that I'm putting on the Turbo 4.8. So that's, it's just playing around with what I have and created something that I think is going to work perfect. So I just wanted to kind of share with you that little project. If I have to, I can use this baffled grommet if I think it's getting exposed to too much splash oil. Or because of that hollow surface above this plastic neck, you technically could shove a big, like a little ball of Chore Boy, that stainless steel rough scrubby pad that you can buy at the store. You could insert that up into this top portion or neck of the filter and kind of reduce some of the splash exposure too. So I'm first going to put it into service and just see how it does. So there you go, guys. Playing around with my little thoughts again, trying to build parts with, to do what I need it to do and do it as cheaply as possible. So appreciate you guys watching. If you guys think this will work for you, get out in the garage and try to drill some plastic and see if you can make it go together.